If you're like millions of people, you might feel like you're stuck in a cycle where each paycheck seems to disappear just as quickly as it arrives. You pay your bills, buy groceries, and maybe have a little left over for some fun, but by the time the next paycheck comes, you're back in the same boat. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. The paycheck-to-paycheck lifestyle is more common than you might think, but the good news is, it doesn't have to be a permanent way of life. In this video, we'll walk through actionable steps to help you escape the paycheck-to-paycheck trap for good. It's not about making a huge, drastic change overnight, but rather about building smart habits and making strategic choices that will allow you to break free and start building a stable, sustainable financial future. Let's get started. 10. Acknowledge your situation and make a plan. The first step to escaping the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle is acknowledging your financial situation. This isn't about feeling bad or guilty, it's about being real with yourself. Many people avoid looking at their finances because they don't want to face the reality of where they stand. But if you want to break free, you need to understand exactly where your money's going. Start by tracking every dollar you earn and spend. You can use a budgeting app, a spreadsheet, or even pen and paper to track your income and expenses. The goal here is to understand where your money is going so you can identify areas to cut back or reallocate funds. Once you have a clear picture of your financial situation, create a detailed plan. A plan that outlines your income, fixed expenses like rent, utilities, and insurance, variable expenses like groceries, entertainment, and dining out, and savings goals. This will give you direction and purpose as you move forward, making it easier to see exactly what needs to change in order to stop living paycheck to paycheck. 9. Build a realistic budget and stick to it. Creating a budget is one of the most effective tools for breaking free from living paycheck to paycheck. But to be successful, your budget needs to be realistic and flexible. Start by listing all your income sources, then allocate money toward necessary expenses like rent, utilities, and transportation. Once those are covered, figure out how much you can realistically allocate towards savings, debt repayment, and non-essential spending. A common budgeting method that works well for many people is the 50-30-20 rule. In this approach, you allocate 50% of your income to needs, housing, food, transportation, 30% to wants, entertainment, eating out, etc., and 20% to savings or paying off debt. Adjust these percentages based on your specific financial goals and priorities, but make sure to stick to your budget each month. The most important part of budgeting is consistency. It's easy to set a budget at the beginning of the month and forget about it, but checking in regularly will keep you on track. If your income changes, update your budget to reflect new numbers, and if you overspend in one category, adjust your spending in another to stay on course. 8. Build an emergency fund. One of the main reasons people get stuck in the paycheck-to-paycheck trap is because they don't have a financial cushion to fall back on when unexpected expenses arise. Car repairs, medical bills, or a sudden loss of income can send your finances spiraling, leaving you with no choice but to rely on credit cards or loans. That's why building an emergency fund is a crucial step in breaking free from the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. Aim to save at least $500 to $1,000 as a starter emergency fund. This will cover most minor emergencies and prevent you from going into debt when life happens. Once you've saved up a small emergency fund, your goal should be to gradually increase it to cover 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. The more you can save, the better prepared you'll be for unexpected events. The best way to build your emergency fund is by saving small amounts regularly. Automate your savings if possible, so you won't be tempted to spend the money on non-essential items. 7. Pay off high-interest debt. High-interest debt, especially credit card debt, is one of the biggest obstacles to escaping the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. The interest on this debt can compound quickly, leaving you with a larger balance than you originally owed. That makes it harder to get ahead financially. To break free, start by paying off your high-interest debt as quickly as possible. One popular strategy is the debt avalanche method. With this approach, you pay off your debts from highest interest rate to lowest. By tackling the highest interest debt first, you'll save money on interest in the long run. If you have multiple debts and are feeling overwhelmed, Consider consolidating them into a single loan with a lower interest rate or using a balance transfer credit card to pay off your debts at 0% interest for an introductory period. But be sure to have a plan in place to pay it off before the interest rates increase. 6. Cut back on unnecessary expenses. One of the quickest ways to stop living paycheck to paycheck is to cut back on non-essential expenses. You don't have to completely deprive yourself of fun, but it's important to recognize areas where you can cut costs. Start by looking at things like subscriptions and memberships. Do you really need that gym membership, streaming service, or magazine subscription that you're not using? Canceling even just 1 or 2 unnecessary subscriptions can free up money that you can use for more important things, like building your emergency fund or paying down debt. Also, consider small changes in your everyday habits. Cooking meals at home instead of dining out, cutting back on impulse purchases, and shopping for deals or discounts can all add up to significant savings over time. 5. Increase your income. While cutting back on expenses is an important part of getting out of the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle, it's also essential to look at ways to increase your income. If you're working full-time and still find yourself struggling, consider finding ways to earn extra money. Look for opportunities for side gigs or freelancing. This could be anything from driving for a rideshare company, babysitting, tutoring, or offering freelance writing or graphic design services. In today's gig economy, there are endless opportunities to make extra money in your spare time. You can also look for ways to earn passive income. This could include renting out a room in your house, starting a blog, or investing in dividend-paying stocks. While passive income might take time to build, it can become an additional stream of money that helps you escape the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. 4. Set financial goals and track your progress. To stay motivated and focused on your journey out of the paycheck-to-paycheck trap, set clear financial goals. These goals will help you prioritize your spending and keep you on track. Start with small, achievable goals like saving $500 in 3 months or paying off 1 credit card. Once you achieve these goals, set larger ones, like saving 6 months' worth of living expenses or paying off all credit card debt. Tracking your progress is just as important as setting goals. Use apps, spreadsheets, or a journal to monitor how far you've come. Tracking allows you to celebrate small wins and stay on track with larger goals. 3. Automate your finances. One of the easiest ways to take control of your finances is by automating as much of your money management as possible. Set up automatic transfers to your savings account, retirement fund, or debt repayment plan. This way, you're saving and paying down debt without even thinking about it. Automating bill payments is also crucial. It ensures you won't miss a payment and avoid late fees, which can further set you back financially. With the time you save, you can focus on other important aspects of your financial journey, like increasing your income or reducing expenses. 2. Build healthy money habits. Breaking the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle isn't just about temporary fixes. It's about building long-term, healthy money habits. Develop a mindset where you prioritize saving and investing. For example, instead of reaching for your credit card when you need something, consider whether you really need it or if you can wait until it's more affordable. Another great habit is reviewing your budget regularly. Reassess your spending and savings every month and make adjustments when necessary. By staying on top of your finances, you're less likely to fall back into bad habits that put you in a cycle of living paycheck to paycheck. 1. Be patient and stay consistent. Escaping the paycheck-to-paycheck trap won't happen overnight, and it may take time before you see significant progress. But remember, the key is consistency. Stick to your budget, keep building your savings, pay off debt, and gradually increase your income. Over time, you'll start to see results. Most importantly, be patient with yourself. It's easy to get discouraged when things aren't changing as quickly as you'd like, but every step you take brings you closer to financial freedom. Keep your eyes on your long-term goals and remember that small, consistent actions add up to big results over time. Breaking free from the paycheck-to-paycheck trap is possible, and it starts with small, consistent steps. By acknowledging your financial situation, creating a realistic budget, building an emergency fund, paying off high-interest debt, and increasing your income, you can begin to take control of your finances. It won't be easy and it may take time, but with patience and persistence, you'll be on your way to a brighter, more financially secure future. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more tips on managing your money and building wealth.